It's Joe, and this is my next project. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I think before we lock this top down, I think we can lower it just a little bit more. Come look. You only get one chance. And I've put this ruler, I put my 6 foot steel or aluminum ruler up there. And you can see the angle. Can you see that? The floor is really the floor. Level is the floor and the frame rack. And it's downhill, but it seems like the rocker panel. Let's look at this. Let's line the camera up with the rocker panel. It's a little downhill. It's a little downhill. And look at this. I think I can get it down in the front a little bit more. We're about 8 inches here, and about 10 7/8 here. And in the back, what's that, 10 1/2? So the plan is, before we get too far down the road, I'm gonna replace this set of 2x4s, that one and that one over there, with 3/4 board. And I'm gonna change this up where we can angle this top a little bit and get it set to where it really looks the way we want it to look. Now I'm gonna put you on time lapse. We'll do that. We'll put the top back on and measure it again. All right. We shut this off. A little better. A little better. Boy, our little rib went way down in there. Nice. Nice. A little shorter. What could it possibly hurt? That one goes in there. About like that. The one across the back. Let me put the ruler up there and check our measurements. All right, just for grins, what I got here. Just can't do some of this stuff left-handed. Here we go. Is it 11 1/2 before? It's 10 5/8 now. Write that down. Much better. I like that better. What do you think? Let's see what this is. We were 8. Oh my. We're less than 8, that's for sure. And we were 10 5/8 up here. And we're 9 3/8. I kind of like that. I don't know if you'll be able to see the street light, because your head's gonna be in here. Something like that. Maybe right in here. Maybe that's more I remember when I set it and I could hardly see over the door. We'll make it work. All right. Next. Now we got to figure out. See anything at all? Got to figure out where to cut this. That's going to set in there. Really, it's going to be back that far when we slide it back. I want the cut right here. I've already measured the center out to here, so that's the same on both sides. Really get down to there. I think that's going to end up going right about there. All right. I'm gonna go cut that. I'll be right back. All right, and I did cut it, and I buffed some of the mill scale off of it. I tacked it together on the back side just a little bit there. And I tacked the corner down. I placed this little side piece we've been looking at for so long on here. And I've done about the same thing on the other side. It'll all pull up tight when the time comes. We're tacked in here. We're pretty tight on the back around in there. Let me show you what's gonna happen here. Well, I'm gonna have to get you on this tripod. Here, I'll keep you close as I can. Just do this one side right quick. Little piece of metal here, piece of wood. Into here. Now I want to get you over closer in here where you can really see what's happening. Because we know this, like, it's gonna come around here. And we're gonna taper it down. Oh. Messed that up. This piece is gonna be cut. It's gonna meld right into that, like, just like that. However, in this piece, I have another straight edge around here. Seemed like I did. No straight edge. How about if this comes down just about like that? Okay. To where this thick piece has a little arrow point on it. And these be about half in there. It's halfway down, right about there. Right in here. And I'll measure this out. It's going to have one of our rivets here. One rivet there. One rivet right about there. This next, we'll have a rivet on each side of here. One about there, and one about there. And when we get under the center here, I think under the center, I don't know if we're gonna have, I think on this, see if I can do this and videotape at the same time. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3 rivets here in the center, under the center of that window. And we'll measure out this other side. We'll do it the same way. And I think I'm gonna drill some small, I'll measure these out, drill some small pilot holes and put some little, maybe I'll put some little nuts and bolts in there where I can pull this up and I can get that tighter, and then drill these. And then you can drill them bigger and put them in. Cut this piece, put the pop rivets on, and we can get on down the road and start doing other things like putting in some bracing and building these windshield posts. So hang tight. I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Okay, I've done that. I put the little screws in here with nuts on the back. I've marked it. I tacked it together, buffed it all off, buffed the mill scale off. And I've got second thoughts on this. I don't like the way this is coming up, see? And I did drill the 3 pilot holes right there. And I've actually got 2 underneath here. But I think I like this just coming down and terminating here. And we'll put some kind of rivet series in here. I need to pull this gap up tighter. So Frank Lloyd Wright, form follows function. So the function is I gotta have some kind of fastener to pull this up tight here and here. And we'll do that. And I'm gonna trade out, let me get you on. Let's see if I can get you on this. It's not very square. Well, that's something. Anyway, now we're going to erase all that. And then watch when we let this go. That all comes down. All okay, all is well. And then I think we're gonna come down to about right there. What do you think? I think I like that better. That's going to come right down like that. We'll end up with our little rivet locations, like I said. Then this under piece, we're going to cut it. We'll cut it with the little French curve, and it'll tuck under here, right back about here. Pull up tight, rivets all the way up. Done deal. Move on to bigger and better things. I'm going to take this thing off. I've already marked the red line, and so I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to cut this and clean that line up, and that'll just take a minute, and I'll be right back. And there, that took a little longer than a minute, but we got a lot done. Made these medallions, recut and riveted that. I like the 3/4 we took out of the roof. That's going to be just about right. This side done too. I like these little medallions and the rivets. The rivets, you know, are lag bolts. And I sanded them because they had little numbers stamped in them or cast in them, whatever it is. And I sanded them. Here's something else I did. Check out these rivets. These are regular size rivets. And then these get a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. And what I did, I chucked these up in the cordless drill, and I used a wrench, a 5/8 wrench for a go, no-go gauge on that one, and then a 9/16 for a go, no-go gauge on that one. And that way I can make them progressively get a little smaller. I think it fit good. It's still tacked. By the time we get this thing all mounted in here, I think it'll be fine. And that was a long day, a long few days actually. But it's finally done. That part's done. We'll move on to other things, get on down the road. Hey, thanks for tuning in.